Okay, so I just read about this GitHub repo that's claiming there's something wrong with APFS on macOS. Sounds like a huge deal, right?
Wait, really? What exactly are they saying? I mean, APFS has been around for a while now.
Right? It's like if it's that bad, why haven't we heard more about it? The repo is basically a stress test for file system performance.
Interesting. So they're trying to prove that APFS is underperforming. What kind of tests are they conducting?
They set up a series of tests, starting with a clean Git repository and running commands to measure performance. It's quite technical.
Okay, but how do they showcase the differences? Like, what metrics are they using to prove their point?
They're measuring the time it takes to run commands like git clean and pnpm install. It really shows how slow APFS can be.
Got it, so it's about actual time metrics. But isn't it possible that other factors could affect those times?
Totally, they mention things like CPU and RAM specs too, which is crucial. It's not just the file system at play.
So they're asking users to contribute their results too. That's pretty cool. It creates a community-driven aspect.
Exactly, it feels like a grassroots effort to highlight performance issues. But doesn't that also open the door for bias?
Absolutely. If someone has a high-end setup, their results might skew perception. What about those on lower specs?
Right, it's a classic case of selection bias, but the community results could help identify patterns.
That's a good point. If there's a trend across different setups, it could validate their claims. Still, it makes me skeptical.
Yeah, I mean, how can we trust the results? They could just be anecdotal. What if someone's system is just configured poorly?
Exactly. Configuration can vastly change outcomes. I wonder if they take that into account in their findings.
They do address some configuration scenarios, but I still think they could do more to acknowledge those variables.
Speaking of variables, how do they plan to gather all these results? Is there a structured way?
Yes, they want users to submit their results via pull requests. It's pretty hands-on and community-oriented.
That's kind of exciting. It gives everyone a stake in the process. But does that mean they'll have to sift through a lot of noise?
Most likely, quality control will be a challenge. They'll have to figure out how to filter useful data.
And what about the implications if they do confirm APFS has issues? That's a huge deal for Apple, isn't it?
Definitely, it could lead to major changes in how they handle file systems, but could it also mean a shift back to older systems?
That's an interesting thought. Would people really revert to HFS Plus? It has its own issues, you know.
True, it's like choosing between a rock and a hard place, or maybe they could hybridize the two.
A hybrid system might leverage the strengths of both, but technically, that sounds complicated.
Right, there'd be engineering challenges galore, but it could be a fascinating experiment in file systems.
Totally, and given how much we rely on file systems, having optimal performance is critical.
Exactly, but here's a provocative thought. What if the performance dips are actually a trade-off for more features?
That's a good angle. If they packed in more security features, maybe it affects raw performance.
For sure, it's like the balance of power consumption in mobile devices. You can't have it all.
So if this repo does gain traction, what's next? Will Apple respond with fixes or just ignore it?
Good question. They might fix it in silence or announce a big overhaul. It's hard to predict.
It will be interesting to see how the community impacts that response. Collective pressure can be powerful.
Absolutely, it's like user power shifting the narrative. Only time will tell how it all unfolds.
For sure, I'm curious to see those community results. They could really shift perspectives on APFS.
Right, and if they find consistent issues, it might lead to a whole new discussion on file systems.
I'm intrigued by this notion of performance versus feature set. It's a classic trade-off.
Yes, and it really challenges how we think about technology advancement. Are we prioritizing speed or safety?
That's a valid debate in the tech world. Performance might suffer if security gets prioritized.
Exactly, so what should users do for now if they're frustrated with APFS? Any recommendations?
Well, they mention options like using a RAM disk or even switching to a Linux VM for better speeds.
Those are solid suggestions, but I wonder how feasible it is for everyday users to do that.
True, not everyone is tech savvy enough to set up a RAM disk or a VM. It could be daunting.
Right? It's a balancing act between accessibility and performance, not an easy fix.
So we're left with more questions than answers. This repo is definitely a conversation starter.
Absolutely, I love that it opens up discussions around performance, tech choices, and user experiences.